What up, guys? This is Device Dude, and yeah, I'm gonna rant today about phones getting bigger. People are like, oh, when the first phone started, it was big. It was a block made by Motorola. And yeah, now phones are supposed to be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I remember having my old flip phone, that those were small. Then phones became gradually 4 inches was the normal size, iPhone size, 4S size. Then they became bigger, then 5 inches on an Android phone. Now we get phablets. What a phablet is, it's a phone tablet, so it's just a really big phone that's big enough to be a tablet. So that's about 5 inches. Okay, so 5 inches higher. So it's higher than 5 inches, or bigger than 5 inches on the screen. So like the Note 3, the Xperia Z1 Ultra, phones like that. Those are big phones. And does it mean better? Well, sometimes it does. I just don't see like why they should make phones bigger. They're just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then demand's gonna be like, I want smaller phones. Then phones are gonna become smaller. When should they stop? The Xperia Z1 Ultra is a freaking big phone. It's like 5.7 inches. That's big. Have you ever seen the Samsung Galaxy Mega? That phone is huge. If you see the Note 3, you think that's big? It's like bigger. Phones are just getting big, and having all these multitasking features, it's kind of like a computer in your hands. The LG G2, that's a good phone, and it's not big, it's 4 inches, and it's about the same speed as the Note 3. I mean, the Note 3 is a little faster because it has an extra gigabyte of RAM. It's 3 versus 2, but like phones like that, the Samsung Galaxy S4, that's not even a bad phone. It's still nice in its hand, and it still feels good in your hands. Most people want smaller phones, but when you get to smaller phones, it's like, well, you lose power, you lose consumption, you lose what the phone is, you lose the meaning of the phone. It's like, oh, well, my phone's not gonna be fast anymore. It gets smaller and smaller. But one day they'll figure out that, oh, I can get certain speeds in the phone in a certain size. And then they'll figure out. I think they should stay in between like 5 and 6 inches. Don't go higher than 6, but don't go lower than 5 inches for a normal phone. Then you can make phones smaller with more compact, and then you can start like processing the internals lower, because I don't think that inside phones they're gonna get like faster and smaller. It's gonna be harder, but they're trying hard, and they're gonna try as hard as they can to make smaller phones faster. It's just not easy. People are like, oh, I want this, I want that, and their demand, but they don't know how much work goes into making a phone. Tech world change every day, and phones might get bigger, might get smaller. Like the mini version of each phone, like the Galaxy S4 Mini or the Droid Mini. It's like they're just the same phone, but the specs are lower. People want phones with like good high specs. And phone carriers are gonna make that. I think Sony's gonna be the first, but we'll see. So this is Device Dude with ranting.